Please welcome Sean Dowling.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Love if you could all take your seats and quiet down so we can get started with the demo pit here. My name's Sean Dowling. I'm with Osage Venture Partners. We're a venture capital firm based here in Philadelphia, focused on early stage B2B software companies on the East Coast. I like to partner with great business builders as they build exceptional companies. We've been proud to sponsor the demo pit since its inception here with Phorum, as it really highlights the quality of the companies in the area who are poised to become the next digital disruptors and really fit the themes both that we like to invest in and that are core to the conference here. We'd like to thank Bentley Systems as our co-sponsor for the demo pit here, and also Alan Bourne from Fairmount Partners and Suzanne Lentz from Capgemini, who helped to select the companies that you'll see here on stage today. We had more than 60 companies apply to participate in the demo pit this year, which I think was our highest number ever. And the 8 that you'll see today really represent the best in class here in the Philadelphia area in terms of leading digital disruption innovation. So each company will have 4 minutes to share some of the highlights of their company and their product. And then we will run through each of the 8 companies here and encourage everyone after it's over to make sure you spend time in the next room seeing the demos and talking to the teams further. So the first company that we'll present is Benefix, and will be represented by Matt Renaro, the founder and CEO.
Hi, everybody. I'm Matt. I'm the founder of Benefix. So Benefix is a managed marketplace that connects small businesses with insurance brokers. So we focus on the 2 to 50 space. So size of the company is pretty small. And so the problem that we uncovered pretty early was that insurance brokers, they don't really have digital tools. So they do things very manually, but times are changing. So InsurTech, right, is really taking off. Zenefits, Gusto, et cetera, like behavior's changing. But these traditional brokers, they still hold on to the majority of the book of business, right? So they're still working with these groups. So without those tools, it's really inefficient, right? So it takes 7 days to get a quote, right? A lot of time just to kind of get these things done. So we digitize that whole experience and aggregate all these different products onto our platform. So what's happening, right? Like 48% of small businesses over the next few years, they're going to do all this digitally. So if the brokers aren't empowered, they're going to lose that business. So, and how we're doing this through this managed marketplace. So, real-time quotes, being able to submit directly to the insurance carriers, ongoing Ben admin, so you can manage this throughout the year. But also, it's a self-serve component. So the small business, they can go on here and kind of start the process on their own. So we're leveraging the broker sort of in the market to help us connect to supply and demand. And so we've seen a lot of growth, right? So in the past couple years, we've grown about 275% kind of across, revenue, employees, et cetera. But the thing that we really look at is percentage of premium, right? So we want to get a percent of the premium that's coming through our platform. And GMV is how we track premium. So last year we did about $812 million through our platform. This year we expect about a 3x growth on that, over $3 billion. So, and the market that we're focused on, it's a niche, right? It's this small business market, but it's still big. It's 132 billion size market. We're just focused on, these are the groups that need us most. They need technology, they need a broker to help them in this experience. And we go after the broker because they connect us in the ecosystem, right? So they connect us to supply and demand, and it creates a really strong network effect. So if we tried to get rid of the broker, it becomes a totally different business. We're focused on technology, not a service business. So, and we've gotten to work with some really incredible customers very quickly. So we work with some of the largest national brokers already. And we also work directly with some of the largest carriers out there. So that's where it gets really interesting, monetizing our GMV. So taking a percent of the premium that's flowing through our managed marketplace. So we have B2B relationships with United Healthcare, Humana, some of the largest carriers nationally, which really helps us grow into new markets super effectively. And also on the broker side of things, we're adding more and more customers on a national scale, right? So being able to work with somebody like an Alera Group USI, we can scale into new markets very effectively. And we've seen massive growth because of that. We have over 3,000 brokers on the platform today. That's going to represent about 70% of all brokers in Pennsylvania. Our team, we're really fortunate. We have someone from Zenefits, who is the former director of engineering. And just a really well-rounded team. We have folks who know the industry, and we have folks who are just coming from technology and computer science who really accelerate everything we're doing in terms of our growth plans. And essentially, what the problem here is that brokers and businesses, they're working in a world, it doesn't exist anymore. It shouldn't be manual, and we're facilitating that. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to facilitate the entire value chain for the $132 billion small business market. Thanks.
And next up, we have Bob Moore, who's the co-founder and CEO of Crossbeam.
All right, hello everybody. I'm Bob Moore. I am so excited to share the story of Crossbeam with you here today. Crossbeam at its core is an escrow service for data. We help companies that are collaborating with one another identify when they have customers in common, leads in common, or other overlaps in their data, while allowing them to actually keep their raw data sources completely safe and secure. Why does this matter? This is actually something that I've encountered at every past company I've ever been at every stage and in every vertical. It's this challenge that looks a lot like the classic prisoner's dilemma problem from game theory, only we call it the partner's dilemma. If you want to answer extremely simple questions, like how many customers do we have in common and who are they? Or are my sales reps selling to any of the same people that your sales reps are selling to right now? You run into this situation where the only way you can draw that Venn diagram is if one party or the other has all of the data in both of the circles. That means I need to give you my customer list, or you need to give me full access to your CRM system and your sales pipeline. And for most companies, that is just flat out a non-starter. Crossbeam solves this problem by basically serving as Switzerland for data. Both parties involved are able to connect their data and then define these populations that kind of serve as abstractions on top of their raw data. That might be like their customer base or their sales pipeline. And then Crossbeam has a matching algorithm that's able to actually identify where the overlap is, allow the parties to take action on that overlap, and then partner up and experience new channels of growth that they wouldn't have been able to access before, all while keeping the rest of their data secure. Where this comes into play is all throughout the go-to-market motions of the companies that are involved. So you can think of it at the very top of the funnel in terms of generating new leads. Knowledge that comes from your partners where they have existing relationships or knowledge about what it takes to sell to people you're trying to sell to because they've already got customer relationships is extremely powerful and allows people to create almost a new class of leads called partner-qualified leads, where they can get intelligence or context from their partners about how to co-sell and bring people further down the funnel. Once they're actually engaged actively in selling, there's another use case around co-selling. So if my sales pipeline overlaps with yours, actually connecting our sales reps so that they can go to market together. This, by the way, is happening in a widespread way across all enterprises today. The practice is called account mapping. It's extremely standard in an enterprise sales, both in a technology channel and a go-to-market channel context, but people are doing it with spreadsheets. They're doing it with phone calls. There's no real innovation that has come to this partnership and business development space in the midst of the SaaS revolution that has really changed the game for all other areas of businesses. And most importantly, the analytics that you get as a result of having a lens into this data are extremely powerful. Not only can you use it to prioritize who your most valuable partners are and who you should invest in deeper partnerships with, but it also allows you to do attribution, to actually quantify the ROI of what's coming in through your channel, which is one of the largest challenges that people that are running business development organizations suffer from today. So at its core, we are just trying to allow companies to bring more data to the table when they collaborate and when they partner. And we think that the opportunity is enormous, and we hope your companies will join us on Crossbeam. Thanks so much.
Next up, we have Helen John, who is founder and CEO of Distot.
Hello, everyone. My name is Helen John, founder and CEO of Distat. Our team's mission is to make training super intuitive. Okay. You probably have noticed the workforce around us has changed, not only demographically, but also how people approach work. About 25% of the workforce are over the age of 55 and retiring soon, leaving knowledge and experience gaps. Half of the workforce are currently looking for new roles, and almost 46% of the workforce are millennials with average job tenure of 2.8 years. Many industries are faced with great challenges of training and retaining talent. And the fact is, organizations spend a lot of resource and time on training people, which could be improved. Distat provides software solutions to address these challenges at workplace. Imagine yourself as a service engineer troubleshooting an equipment in the field, or a nurse student learning how to use a medical device. By simply pointing the smartphone and tablets at the physical objects, our software overlays the information you need digitally. Using augmented reality technology, our product overlays 3D content, instructions, and guidance onto the real-world environment, making training more immersive, intuitive, and interactive. And we drive the innovation of our product based on enhanced computer vision technology. The benefits of using our products are: 1, reduce training time and cost; 2, speeds up knowledge transfer; and 3, improve job performance, including productivity, accuracy, and safety. We focus on these following markets: the equipment and device suppliers that need to train their customer base on how to use their product; the utility and manufacturing industries that need to train internally their employees on how to operate physical systems. So these industries rely on traditional training and they start to realize the need to innovate to meet the needs for the changing workforce. So here are the team members. We have combined experience of over 20 years, ranging from market development, technical training, augmented reality, computer vision, and digital product design. And we have developed a prototype in the last 12 months, and we're currently working with 2 national brands to beta test the technology. So if your business or business that you know are interested in learning more, please visit us at the demo pit. Thank you very much for your attention.
Next up, we have Guy Holtzman, who's co-founder of InCyber.
Hi. So InCyber was formed in order for companies to do true prediction of insider threats. Our job is to catch the most dangerous people inside of an organization, and we do so for the first time by using internal information, such as logs from the SIM system, and external information, such as credit rating, bankruptcy, etc. Our job is to find people like that, like Snowden, or people like Eti Alon. We're an Israeli company, so a woman called Eti Alon comes into the police station one day, says, "I took all the money from the bank." Officers laugh at her, say, "What do you mean you took all the money from the bank?" "Well, I served coffee for the boss and I took all the money from the bank doing that." Again, they laugh at her. It turns out that she indeed took all the money from the bank and gave it to the degenerate gambling brother, who was under the thumb of the mafia. 2,000 people lost their jobs because the bank went bankrupt. There was no more money. That's why the company was formed. And our mission is to help companies deal with these kind of threats. You see, the average annual cost today is $8.7 million in containment of insider threats. It's a disease. It's everywhere. And it cannot be contained with current solutions. 69% of breaches are caused by insiders. It's insane. Since 2016, incidences have tripled. Since 2016. Now, there's a lot of technology out there that tries to help this, but it's not really working, not effective, because what they do is do near-time and real near-time analysis, trying to figure out things with rule-based systems. So if somebody came to work today at 8 o'clock instead of 7, went to lunch at 12 instead of 1, and then went home at 8 instead of 6, you're marked in pink because you broke a lot of rules. That creates false positives, and CISOs hate that. What we do is we use internal and external information, and we use it on a very, very non-complex situation in order to help customers find out who are the most dangerous people in the organization. There's a lot of words in there. There's no way you're going to see through it in 20 seconds. I'll just explain at a glance what we're doing. So we take logs from SimSystem. We run our algorithms on them. We compare people to themselves, to their team, and to their industry averages. So for example, somebody copied 4,000 files a month. They used to copy just 40. They delete 1,000 files a month. They used to delete just, their team is deleting just 100. And the industry average is for that person in that position not to ever put a USB file, and that's exactly what they're doing. We take that, from that we have about 0.5% of people coming with us to the next stage. So out of 5,000 people in an organization, about 25 people. And on them we trigger the second stage, which is going for external information, credit rating, bankruptcy, integrity, etc. This, for example, is a case of an insurance executive. He was in charge of car insurance. He was looking at life insurance policies of old widows, trying to make himself the beneficiary of them because he went through bankruptcy. That's what we do. Those are the kind of incidences that we look for. In terms of privacy, in case you ask yourself, how do we do it? Well, we are completely private, in line with the privacy rules, because the information, the external information that we take is only public information or information given to us by a client or a third party that signs that it took that information under privacy laws in the country that we take it from. In terms of, I'm sorry, for some reason this was the wrong one. In terms of competition analysis, our competitors don't use rule-based, don't use internal and external information. They do not comply with what it takes to use AI in machine learning activity, so we are very much a novelty act. And in terms of our team, each one of us have our own special place in the company. My partner Abe, who did his IPO already 25 years ago, was head of technology, myself, head of business. My partner Avishai, head of fraud in Israel for the Israeli police and PwC, and our partner Gidon was head of business development for Israel's largest cybersecurity company, CyberArk. It's a $3 billion company, and wanted to join us for our endeavors since we are changing the rules of the cybersecurity insider threats game. Thank you so much, and I'll be outside if you have any more questions. Thank you.
Next up, we have Mike Lieberman, who is CEO of MaxG.
Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you for inviting me here. So, about 16 years ago, I started a digital marketing agency, and while the objective was to help businesses with websites and email campaigns and social, that really wasn't our mission. Our mission was to be a different kind of agency, one that produced results for our clients, help them get leads, sales opportunities, and help them close new business. Fast forward 16 years to today, and that motion has gotten exponentially more complicated. There are literally hundreds of tactics that can be deployed and thousands of technologies that can be looked at and hundreds of thousands of data points in which you need to analyze to make a good decision about what marketing you should be executing and sales changes you should be made so you can grow your company exponentially. My team got together about a year ago at Square 2 and decided we wanted to continue that mission of getting clients better results. And to do that, we started looking at how could we potentially do that. And out of that exercise came a company called MaxG. MaxG is a SaaS-based software product that will provide insights and recommendations to help you and your marketing team know exactly what to do to produce better results. It's literally an epidemic going on out there. Companies are struggling to hit their sales targets every single month. And people are reporting that this is not getting easier, this is getting more complicated. These are the CMOs who are telling us that they can only 2% of them know what to do with the data they're getting out of their current marketing and sales systems. It's an overwhelming amount of data, and internal teams do not have the bandwidth or expertise to really figure it out. There's no easy way to how to relate what you're doing to the results that you're producing, and none of the current tools out there produce personal recommendations. In fact, most of them don't provide any recommendations. So leaders don't know how to tell their teams what to work on, when to work on them, and how to work on it. What MaxG does is it takes your data and provides recommendations that my team has built and programmed the AI engine to learn how to tell you exactly what to do to get better results, and I'll show you how we do that. So you will tell the system what you want it to do. We want to generate more traffic to our website. We want to generate more leads. You will connect it literally in seconds to your Google Analytics or your Salesforce.com or your HubSpot account, and out pops recommendations, personal recommendations based on your company and your data. We took it one step further and produced some benchmarks too, so you now actually know how your company is doing compared to other companies like yours. And you can see these are some of the insights we'll provide. Your blog needs to work better, your landing page needs to work better, your CTAs aren't working right, and then some very specific recommendations on how to fix that. We'll also help you prioritize it, because if I told you you have to work on these 15 things, how do you know which one is going to produce the best results? So we'll tell you at the very top which is going to produce the best results for the least amount of effort, and we'll help you assign that to your team as well, all within the platform. We've decided to target some very specific and very narrow lane out of the gate, which is HubSpot agencies and users of HubSpot. HubSpot is a marketing automation product that Max is already connected to. We've also looked at the competition. So you can see that we're the only product that's AI-powered, provides personal recommendations, it's less than $200 a month, and does not need a data analyst. This is the team that's working on MaxG. Eric Kalis is a seasoned entrepreneur. I have software experience. Gabe is building the product, and Ignacio handles the development team, and we have a couple of advisors on the team as well. Our exit strategy is predefined. We'll leave mid-journey or we'll finish the product roadmap. We have a 10-year relationship with HubSpot. We're already part of their Connect program, and they've already done some acquisitions to date, and if they're not interested, there's other marketing automation platforms that would like to have a recommendations engine bolted onto their product. We've already raised $300,000. We're looking for $900,000 more, and we want to use it for sales and marketing, additional software development, connecting to other platforms, and adding more insights and recommendations. And if you're interested, we would love to talk to you more about getting involved with our proven team, a revenue-producing product with a proven methodology, and a massive growing market, and a planned exit. Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Maxime Setsovat, who's founder and CTO of Open Health Network.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me here. So, okay, perfect. So, we are a patient experience management platform. So what does it mean, a patient experience management? Think about it this way. We have billions of dollars of investment in back office infrastructure in healthcare. We have your EMR systems, we have all of the billing systems, we have imaging, we have analytics, we have all kinds of stuff in the back office. But what is your user experience? What is your UX? It's a piece of paper. It's completely broken. If you visit more than one doctor, you are likely to see that their systems don't talk to each other as well, unless they're all in the same hospital. So then we have all of this data coming from our wearables, from all of the devices that we have on ourselves. So Open Health is trying to solve this problem. We are a configurable, customizable healthcare management system that will tie all of this data together and put it in control in the hands of the patients. So my name is Max Svetovat. I've been a professor of data science at George Mason University. I've worked in national security. I've worked in healthcare, marketing, a few other fields. My co-founder, Tatiana, is a former partner at PwC, and has a lot of experience starting companies and exiting. And we started this journey about 5 years ago. We launched at the White House. We were personally launched by President Obama, who pressed the enter button to launch our company. This, I think, as far as I know, we're the only company to be ever launched by a sitting president. Just kind of fun tidbit. So we work to integrate the entire care team. Patients talking to nurses, family, physicians, caregivers in a way that patient can control. We go across multiple communication channels. We're not just limited to apps, and we've been working with chatbots, we've been working with text-based communication, we've been working with Alexa and voice and everything else. And we've been working across the entire healthcare spectrum and producing personalized healthcare experiences. We've been working with all kinds of really cool people. Here in Philadelphia, we're working with CHOP. We're starting a project with them. We've worked with this Cleveland Clinic, McGill University, NYU, UCSF, and our best friends at this point, American Heart Association. We've been working with them for about 3 years, and we've done some beautiful things together. So we launched a product called Patient Sphere in October that puts all of this in the hands of a healthcare system in a way that is super easy to integrate. It's an entire top to bottom platform that takes all of your data, all of your devices, all of the data from the EMRs, from the labs, from whatever you have, puts it in the hands of a patient in a very controlled fashion, but also surfaces it down to the provider in a way that providers can use. And the benefits for that are numerous. We have very large organizations coming in on both the front end and the back end as data producers and data consumers, and doing some very amazing things. Right now, mostly in cardiac rehab and addiction recovery, but a couple other things happening as well. So what we know is that the niche solutions do not work at this point. We know that sort of siloed approaches that we've been doing for years, they are broken. What we're trying to do is something a lot better. We've been working with some amazing people from Boston Medical Center, from IBM, from Google, from Blockstar is a blockchain group. So we've had amazing people on our advisory board. We've had amazing customers that love us. And we're looking to do more and better things. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Next up, we have Marcos Villa, who is a marketing manager with SmartX.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you have technicians working for you in the field, you have no idea what or how they are working, and you have a limited way to track their performance on a daily basis. We have constantly been adding complexities to equipment and making repairs in the field much more difficult for our technicians. This causes them to regularly require assistance and from the back office, which takes up a lot of time on their daily tasks. It isn't until now, no solution was able to support our technicians in the field in real time. Thousands of technicians will get injured this year alone, millions will die, and industries will lose billions in workers' compensations this year. The problem results in a significant decrease in safety, compliance, and job productivity. Imagine if you could give technicians in the field the same ease of access to documentation and tech support that they would have if they were in the back office. Let's watch a short video of technicians using our technology.
Inspect it. Go direct. demo equipment, inspection demo, wiring, view document, Zoom level 3, freeze document, unsatisfactory, save and exit, take photo, Zoom level 5, Zoom level 4, flashlight on, take photo, save and next, open service request, open dictation. There's a screw missing from this panel. Accept. Excellent. Save and next.
At SmartTex, we have developed the most practical, scalable, and proprietary technology to empower our field workers today with intelligent aid at every point of service. We're the solution that can support technicians on every job, anywhere, 10 hours a day. With our voice-driven heads-up display, technicians are loving it. Our clients experience up to 30% in productivity and 80% improvement in first-time fix rate, as well as overall reduction in error. Accurate reporting and compliance is guaranteed. We launched SmartTex in October 2018, and in a matter of a few months, we were able to develop a pipeline of Fortune 500 companies in the wind industry, telecommunications, chemical, and utilities. We're even doing co-developments with Airbus. Today, we welcome you all to come and see and experience the transformative technology today with us and see it for yourselves. Thank you very much.
And our last demo pit company for today is represented by Shonak Roy, who's founder and CEO of Yellowdig.
Hello, so my name is Shonak Roy. I'm the founder and CEO of Yellowdig. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm the last guy, so I'll try to make it quick. Just try to make sure that technology works. So we are a company focused on higher education. The number you see over there is the problem that we are solving. But before I get to that, let me ask you a question. Can you raise your hand if any of your family members are currently in college? Like 20, 30%? Probably going to be in college in the next 5 years? Another 20, 30%. So, it's probably 60% plus. So you should care about this number. What it says is that 50% of students who are actually starting college today do not graduate even after 6 years. And that number is an average of all higher education institutions in the country today. That's a big problem. Like, imagine a business with 50% of their customers actually are kind of churning out every year. Would you be able to run a business like that? That's exactly what's happening in our higher education industry or sector right now. One number I also recently saw is that Gallup recently published a study saying 66% of all corporate employees are currently disengaged. Imagine that. Disengagement or lack of engagement is a huge problem in our storied higher education institutions, as well as many of the companies where we're hiring these people and trying to engage them and retain them. So this is the problem that we are solving, and let me tell you how we are solving it. So why is this happening? Why is suddenly disengagement and lack of, dropping out is a big problem? The reason is that in the last 10 years, digital engagement has become a thing. Students are like people between 18 and 34, are spending about 6 hours a day
looking at social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, whatever you're looking at. Mindshare is going there, and they are trusting peer-generated content, like let's say I see a video from my friend is more trusted than something I read maybe in my course syllabus. So naturally, the old model of trying to get a group of people in a physical space and trying to forcefully engage them with a lot of resources is not working because it has to be a lot more dynamic, digital, and friendly to the modern learners. So this is what Yellowdig is. What you're looking at is a GIF of the platform, but essentially what we do is that we take all the aspects of social media, but make it private, configurable, and kind of customized for learning. So when we work with an institution, I'll give you some examples, they take our platform, they basically make it a private platform, because if you go to Facebook today, probably your data is going to get stolen or you're going to be buying things as opposed to learning anything. So we have those benefits of Facebook, but we are kind of turning it towards making it more focused on productive usage of resources and people. Few other aspects of our platform is gamified. It's also very secure. There are a lot of regulations, especially in higher education. We comply with all of that. There is also a lot of science that goes on in the back end. We have 2 pending patents, one on our algorithms that we use for matching people. As you can imagine, matching is very important. The other is around gamification that we do on the platform to drive higher engagement without spending a lot of resources. So that's kind of, there is a lot of work that gets into kind of building this. Let me give you some examples. So what do I mean by engagement? What are those stories that are happening? So this is an example for Michael from a health science class. He's taking, where he is asking the question is, why is bacon a breakfast food? I mean, come on, we all love bacon, but can we ever thought about it? And he's asking that. He's actually discussing with his peers. Another student, Corey, she is doing her MBA, and she's very interested in blockchain. So she's trying to kind of garner interest with her classmates who's interested in blockchain and talking up topics of what is happening in this space and things like that. Another student, Jamie, she is trying to figure out what motivates her. So she's asking, talking to her classmate, why she's studying, and I think she's studying education. So why, she wants to be a teacher, and what is motivating her. So these kind of stories are kind of emerging once you make it a lot more social and a lot more interactive. And these are real examples, by the way. I had to change the names. There's another student, Yasmin. She is introducing herself in a very informal way to the community, saying that she is a first-generation student, like first member in her family coming to college. And she is working full-time and also doing her studies fully online and trying to make friends. It's very, very hard. But now she's connecting with her entire peer group on our platform. Some other stories, like somebody's talking about Bruno. Bruno is a dog, and she takes online courses, and Bruno sits on her. So she started a new kind of tag saying, let's talk about our dogs. And they're connecting with one another. So the reason for connecting could be many, but all what we are providing is a platform where people can connect very spontaneously. So we have been in business for over 4 years now. On the left side is a graph of our usage. So last year, which is our year 4, we had 100,000 students from 35 universities in the US and some companies using us, creating over 13 million engagements. So every engagement is essentially a story that's happening, either through a new post or a comment. And these are some of the examples of schools that we are working with. So there are quite a few very prestigious schools who have been working with us for over 4 years now to really tool and perfect the solution and get to a point that we can kind of scale it up. And from a financial standpoint, because this is important, if you want to buy a software, what kind of benefit it provides, we have done studies with these universities now where we have proven that if you have a lot more connected learning environment, your engagement level goes up by at least two times than what you would see otherwise. Dropout, which costs millions of dollars, went down as much as 8%. And student satisfaction went up to 90%. All of these KPIs are extremely important now in higher education. And we have proven studies, and we have 2 peer-reviewed research papers published on this data, that we are actually moving the needle for them. And our next goal is to essentially build up the organization to scale up this offering to, there are 4,000 institutions in the US itself. Plus, there are a lot of companies that are increasingly investing in training and development of their employees who would be also good customers for this product. Thank you very much.